Yeah, look at those cards fly. Man, I could just sit here and watch this for hours. Oh, right. There's a video I was supposed to be doing. Hi, everybody. Got caught up playing solitaire for a while, but hey, I'm back. Those last couple of videos, they were pretty good. I'm happy with how they turned out, but, I was doing them for me. I did what I want. Now it's time to give the people what they want.
A bullet. A bullet. A bullet. A bullet. What kind of bullet?
Not just any bullet. A magic bullet. Oh, no, wait, not that one.
With the original magic bullet.
There we go. Now we're back on topic. But anyways, yeah, I was trying to decide how to come back after an extended absence. I looked at the comments on my first infomercial review, saw some people talking about the magic bullet, and figured, yeah, this is as good a place to start again as any. So yep, here it is. Just one more thing I have to do before I begin. More editing trickery, more time-space distortion, and an unusually large crowd of wacky characters. Stay tuned for all this and more as I show you the hidden lore and mind tricks of the magic bullet infomercials. Now then, if there's only one thing that you remember about this infomercial, it probably wasn't anything to do with the product itself. It was definitely all these kooky characters they got running around. It's a similar premise to the Ready, Set, Go infomercial, but we got more character dynamics going on since we have more than just two people. I'm pretty sure they were trying to trick people into thinking they're watching a sitcom, and this comment from the previous infomercial video I did seems to support that theory. Now, that's kind of sneaky, but once you're aware of it, you can have some fun with it, just seeing what these weirdos are gonna do next.
Good morning, Berman.
God, not so loud.
Here, what about a bit of the hair of the dog that bit you?
Berman's hungover. Now, as you can see, this thing is basically just a blender with a small chamber. Now, there's certain contexts where that can come in handy, mainly like if everyone wants a different drink, you can blend them all one by one. However, they're paying for a full slot of airtime, and you can't just blend drinks for 15 minutes. What do they fill that remaining space with?
Bunch of bullshit!
Once they get past the real selling point, some of these other examples are highly questionable.
Onion?
Ooh, and cheese.
Everything then, right?
Okay,
You want
yes,
everything?
everything.
Okay. I understand. Okay, we'll just pop this on.
You're gonna blend the whole omelet? Seems a bit extreme, but hey, there's no board like overboard, I guess.
An omelet. For you, Ike.
Ooh.
Look at that.
My god, the ham has been liquefied. Look, it's just gone. You could sip that ham through a straw if it wasn't suspended in raw egg.
Can I interest anybody in any coffee?
Where's your coffee grinder?
Oh, sit down and relax. We don't need a coffee grinder because in less than 10 seconds, we're gonna have fresh ground coffee. You ready?
I can't imagine this being good for the blades if you keep doing it over and over, but if you don't own a real coffee grinder, I could at least see this thing getting you by in a pinch.
Whether you like a regular grind or let's say extra fine for espresso, in just seconds.
You're done. Now look at that.
You are done!
In no time at all, fresh ground coffee.
Now, on the other hand, whatever you put into the chamber next is almost certainly going to have a slight aftertaste of coffee unless you spend like a considerable amount of time cleaning the thing. Now, that's something you're definitely not going to see in this infomercial.
Okay, so there you have it.
It takes no more time or trouble to make 2 or 3 different kinds of muffins.
You're using it to mix muffin batter? I mean, I guess you could do that, but like, why?
So now, everybody gets exactly what they want.
I mean, the banana nut makes sense since you're blending the banana and chopping the nuts, but I don't think liquefying the blueberries is the best way to get them into a muffin. Look, at the example tray they showed at the start, that had whole blueberries in it. Wait a minute, they already baked the muffins? What's going on here?
Did somebody say muffins?
Oh yeah, here she is, Hazel, the real star of the show. Look at her hovering back there like an inspector at the utility muffin research kitchen.
The magic bullet.
The personal, versatile countertop magician.
Countertop magician?
That's right, because it works like magic. All you do is choose your blade.
It comes with 2.
See, I'm very glad you mentioned that because it leads nicely into another point. Remember how back in the Ready, Set, Go video they had to line up like 6 grills side by side to do so much food at one time? Well, they're doing that same trick again here, but it's a lot easier since you don't have to move the entire thing, you can just swap out the chamber. Now you might just say that's because they want to keep it moving, and yes, that's probably true, but I personally think that they just really want to avoid talking about the time it takes to clean the blade. Now what I'm going to do is count the number of chambers they use up over the course of this infomercial, then by the end we're going to figure out how many trips to the sink it would take to fulfill this fantasy.
And look at this, unlike these complicated machines, yeah, that are so big and clumsy they just end up living in the back of the cupboard.
Nice cupboard full of janky old appliances. Clearly they just had someone on the production staff raid the local Goodwill and buy every cheapo food processor that cost $10 or less.
What's all this useless junk?
That's the useless junk for scene 28.
Now this is mostly just standard infomercial stuff, but the wacky characters, now that's something you don't see quite so often. Of course they want you to glue yourself to the TV in a semi-catatonic state, but if you do, then they reward you with like lore and stuff. It's very easy to miss, but there's one line that explains what everyone's doing here.
I've got some grilled chicken here from last night's barbecue.
See, there was a barbecue last night, they were like sleeping over. Everyone in the comments seems to think it's a swingers party, but hey, it could be both.
A squeeze of mayo.
Just to spice it up a bit, my favorite, a little bit of curry powder.
Curry powder for everything.
You can tell from that alone that these two have definitely had many an argument over the curry powder before. On a lighter note, if you're paying attention, you can also catch each character's name. Of course, we got Mick and Mimi here, typical infomercial couple, might as well be a stock photo. And over here we got Tina. No, she's not just Mimi again, and her main role seems to be just making over-exaggerated facial expressions at everything. And here we have her boyfriend or possibly husband Ike. He's basically just a dude. Wait a minute, Tina and Ike? I do hope this is working out better for them behind the scenes than it was for the Tina and Ike in that one movie. Anyways, next up we got Berman. He's very interesting because clearly he's meant to be like the skeptical audience surrogate, the one who asked the tough questions, quote unquote.
Every single day.
Come on, Mimi. Every single day?
Several times a day. Because it'll do any job in the kitchen in 10 seconds or less.
Yeah, 10 seconds or less.
But then, because he's the only one here who doesn't believe in the bullet, they also made him a fat goofball who drinks heavily.
Or for you party animals, your favorite liqueur.
Like you.
Just goes to show what they really think of you, their customer base. Anywho, next up we got Wilma and Fred. They're just kind of there. They don't really contribute much. Wait a minute. Fred? Wilma?
Flintstones? Oh.
And finally, we got Hazel, who appears to have just wandered in from some truck stop diner somewhere, I guess. And thank God she did, because as previously stated, she is the real star here.
Well, let me ask you, what is the worst job you have to do in the kitchen?
And almost every meal starts with it.
Chopping garlic. Stinky, nasty garlic.
Oh man, that garlic, it sure does produce quite a stench.
I know a worse one.
But you know what? The worst job for me is chopping onions. I don't know about you guys, but it makes my hands stink for days, my eyes tear. I just can't stand it.
I mean, yeah, they leave an odor on your hands, but for days? Mimi, your sink does have running water, right?
Don't forget, Jesus loves clean hands.
Also, if you're crying when you cut your onions, then your knives aren't sharp enough, and that's the problem. Basically, what's happening there is if you're squashing it instead of slicing it, then that's what produces the onion gas. The magic bullet could technically solve that, but only if you're using tiny onions that fit in the chamber. Clearly they got that idea, because look at these tiny little things.
Perfectly chopped onion. Look at that.
Looks like less of a chop and more of a puree, if you ask me. Good luck getting sliced onions for your steak out of this thing.
And it goes straight from here into the pan. Look at that.
Hey, bring that back. Aw man, can someone get Mimi a rubber spatula or something? Half of the onion is still stuck in the chamber. Anyways, the rest of the infomercial is just more food demos. Some of them actually look pretty good, like the chocolate mousse. I guess the salsa and guacamole look alright. Although the deeper we're getting into this, the more I notice them avoiding using the word blender specifically. I wonder why.
You can start chopping onions for an omelet. Or you can chop onions, whip eggs.
Ah, goody. A commercial for the commercial inside my commercial. My favorite thing. This is a long one, too. It's like 4 whole minutes till we rejoin the gang.
You must watch this. Everyone who calls in the next 8...
Aw, come on. Now it's literally just a blender. There's also this juicer attachment. Seems to work, but again, very suspicious that they don't show how you clean it.
Plus, find out how you can get the Magic Bullet 2-quart deluxe food processor attachment.
Now that just looks like it's going to be constantly in danger of falling over at any moment. Anyways, there's no wacky twist at the end or anything. Once they've done the last food demo, it just kind of fades out.
What can you do in 10 seconds?
No thanks. I don't think we need to see the commercial again. Instead, let's count those trips to the sink. Now I counted 16 chambers used in total, plus the blender and the juicer thing. Now you might not have to go to the sink to clean the chambers every time, but at the very least you're going back to clean those blades about 7 or 8 times total. Man, I wish we could have got Berman and Hazel's reaction to that. So anyways, that was the Magic Bullet infomercial.
But I'm not done yet. Keep watching right now, and I'll triple the offer and give you 3 infomercial reviews for the price of none. That's right, you pay a grand total of $0.00. All you gotta do is just keep watching.
Oof, sorry about that, don't know what got into me. Anyways, next up we've got the Bullet to Go.
What if you could blend your favorite frozen beverage, ready to drink in just 7 seconds?
Yeah, it's a battery-powered blender, we get it. Let's just skip to the good part.
Hey, where were you guys?
We got up early this morning and we hiked up that mountain over there.
Oh, and that one too.
Oh yeah, you know, those mountains over there. What, you don't see them? Come on, just turn your head to the left, they're right there. Still can't see them? Nah, well, whatever, never mind. Look, smoothies.
What are you gonna make a smoothie with? Your Magic Bullet?
As a matter of fact, Berman, guess what? I am.
We're in the middle of the woods. Where are you gonna plug that thing in?
I see we've got Berman once again acting as the audience surrogate. And look, we got a new character here. What's his name?
If strawberry and banana is what you want, Barney, that's what you'll get.
Barney? What's his wife's name? Betty?
Okay, let's make one more. Betty, what would you like?
Okay.
Wait, really? They actually stopped hanging out with the Flintstones and started hanging out with the Rubbles? That's honestly pretty hilarious. I bet these two have got a girl named Pebbles and these two have got a boy named Bam Bam. Next you're gonna be telling me this guy's name is Dino or something.
What would you like in your omelet, Dino?
Wait, for real? Oof. Good thing we're out of new characters because I don't know how much more of this I can take. Hey, wait a minute, what happened to Ike? Tina's just got a new man now? Damn, I guess guys named Ike and girls named Tina just don't work out. Either that or Tina just really wanted to be the top for a change.
He likes a Denver omelet.
Okay, well then I'm gonna start with a couple of eggs, some ham, a little bit of onion.
Yes, onion's fine.
Okay, great.
Anyways, most of these demos are just the same ones from last time. They grind coffee again, they chop garlic again, they do the chocolate mousse again with this no-name syrup. But yeah, it's still a blender, it still does blender things. If you can blend it, you can probably put it in here. At the very least, they figured out how to make an omelet without liquefying all the ingredients. Was it the technique, or is it just weaker because it's on a battery?
The world may never know.
Ah well, in any case, look, omelets.
Omelet? That's not camping food. Flapjacks. Now that's a hearty breakfast.
Hey, there she is. I was a little bit worried that we weren't going to have any Hazel in this production. But what exactly is she doing here anyways?
Hazel, when did you get here?
Did you just... Which... Thanks for the socks, big boy. Move it, sweetheart.
Oh my god, she was doing the no pants dance with Berman. This may be a fake sitcom, but that twist was more unexpected than 75% of the ones I've seen in like real sitcoms. Damn. What were they selling again? Oh, they're blending pancake batter. How delightfully unnecessary. Also, this is basically just the muffin demo from earlier, same liquefied blueberries and everything. And if you really want flapjacks while camping, all you need is a bowl and a rubber spatula. That is, of course, presuming you have like all the ingredients in a pan and something to cook with. Now, I don't think that was too much of a problem here, because look, there's a grill in the background, but of course, Mick and Mimi, extra as they are, went and brought an entire stove of their own.
3 seconds, and look at that, you guys, without any tears.
Yep, bravo, you can still dice onions with it. And wait, what are you doing? This has nothing to do with the bullet, what are you doing?
Don't forget, you know I like my food spicy, so I'm just going to put a little bit of chili powder on there as well.
If you're already bringing all that, what's really to stop you from just using your magic bullet at home to dice up some onions and put them in a little Tupperware container or something?
We've got chili nachos. Now, what about that for a delicious, fast and easy family meal?
See, that does look like a pretty decent chili and chips, but let's be honest here, the bullet had about as much part in that as Mike Love did in writing Wouldn't It Be Nice? Now before we move on, there's one thing I want to bring your attention to. He's been getting quite a bit of use out of this thing so far. How much life do you think is going to be left in that battery pack?
I charged this long life battery for only 2 hours the day before we came here. And we're gonna get about 50 uses out of it before we need to charge it again.
50 uses? What does that mean? Does it count as a use for each individual item of food, or does it count as a use for every time you push it down and pulse one time? I'm guessing it's the latter. Oh yeah, also the problem from before of having to clean the chambers is even worse when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you haven't got easy access to a sink. Now let's see, what do we got next?
What if you could blend your...
Oh, another commercial for the commercial inside the commercial. Yay.
So now you can do any job in 10 seconds or less, anywhere.
Any job, anywhere? Big words.
Or add a scoop of protein powder for the most delicious meal replacement fat loss drink you've ever tasted.
Yep, As we all know, nothing goes together like shakes and fat loss. Now, presuming you don't see any contradiction there, I still don't see what's stopping you from just putting all those ingredients into any ordinary blender. Jeez, how long is this commercial? Yeah, I timed it. This one's like 6 minutes long. It's so long that when we come back, we're in an entirely new vacation.
Mick and Mimi's famous 15-minute party. Now I'm gonna get this party started. Bob's your uncle, fun is your aunt.
Fresh, delicious salsa made for...
Hands off, that's mine.
It's all yours.
Ooh, another nacho platter destined to be scarfed down in its entirety by Mr. Berman here.
Hey, you guys know what else a party needs?
What's that?
Dips.
Dips? We don't need no dips. I'm looking at 3 of them right here.
Oh, how about some of that, the green junk?
Guacamole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, let's move this along. Breaking news, this blender can make blended drinks. Who'da thunk it?
Yeah.
Great. I will go find some glasses.
You don't need them.
Gonna go find some glasses, huh, Betty? Where at? You're on the frickin' beach. Sounds to me like she's just looking for an excuse to get out of here.
Like a fresh, virgin strawberry margarita for you, Tina.
Ooh, that little exchange tells an entire story in and of itself. You can just tell, hanging out with Mick and Mimi, having to sit through another Magic Bullet sales pitch, she has never regretted quitting drinking more in her entire life.
And let's check this out. Are you ready? Look at that. 3 completely different cocktail drinks made in seconds. Look at that.
Yep, 3 drinks in seconds. It's real easy when you got 3 blenders. Wait, what? We're at a tailgate now? And what's all this food? Somehow I doubt the bullet had anything to do with any of this.
All this food is amazing.
And who are all these new people? And my guess is that when everyone else started actually having fun at the beach, Mick and Mimi just got bored and went to the parking lot to go sell more blenders. Anyways, let's see what they're doing here. We got some mixed watermelon beverage of some kind. Looks okay. What else?
Now, let's stop looking at this and let's start eating it. Come on, look, we've got some chili, we've got some...
Oh, that's it? Not sure why they even bothered. It's a lot of setup for just one recipe. Now then, on to the final one I'll be looking at in detail today, the Bullet Express.
We're here!
Hey guys, come on in!
Are we early or something?
Have you ever had a family gathering and had everyone show up at exactly the same moment? I guess it's easier for these people because in the one and only shot where the door is open, we see nothing outside but a pure white void, so I'm guessing everyone just sort of spawned in from the construct from the Matrix.
You guys are getting hungry, so what about some appetizers, yeah?
Wait a minute.
Who are you people?
It's still clearly Mick and Mimi, but the entire set of side characters is different. I mean, it's a little weird, but I guess I understand. Their friends finally got sick of every party turning into a magic bullet party, maybe? Actually, yeah, I think it was that, and I have more evidence to support my theory, too. Let's take a little detour for a second.
With the revolutionary Red Devil, the portable outdoor kitchen from...
Yeah, we're really turning back the clock now. Different friend group, different product, different everything. Same Mick and Mimi, though.
Remember, the Red Devil isn't a grill.
It's a portable outdoor kitchen.
Looks like a grill to me.
They're your friends.
I know.
Now, I'm not going to look at this one in its entirety because, again, basically the same premise, but in this one, they're even more shameless. They showed up to their friend's barbecue where he's grilling up the burgers and everything just so they could show off their own little as-seen-on-TV grills.
Cooking on that big $400 grill that's never ever gonna leave the backyard.
And we've got 15 burgers and 5 dogs on the Red Devil, and I can take it anywhere.
And of course, it's a lot easier to cook so much food so fast when you brought 3 of them. At this point, it's looking like Mimi was the brains of the operation, because I'm pretty sure Mick hasn't quite figured out what he's doing here yet.
You see, what happens is, it's the shape. I don't know. You tell him, Mimi.
It's really very simple.
Maybe he should have gotten to know this thing a little better, because shortly after this infomercial, guess what? They got recalled, because they were like melting and falling over and stuff. Presumably after selling their entire friend group on these things, Mick and Mimi had no choice but to skip town and start a new life. And of course, as we've seen multiple times now, they couldn't give up their habit of selling products to their friends, so quite frankly, they're just lucky that they didn't end up thousands of dollars in debt to Amway or something. But hey, I guess that's just what happens when you put your trust in the devil. Anyways, you can tell they're getting desperate for people to sell their kitchen appliances too, because now they're inviting out the crotchety oldsters that they didn't want anything to do with before, like Aunt Martha and Granny.
Have us over for a nice family meal, and there's no food in sight. They probably just got out of bed.
I think they secretly missed their old friends too, because this redhead lady is essentially our new Tina with the faces, and this guy Ralph is obviously a bootleg Berman. The main difference between the two is that Berman actually had some subtle little nuanced details to his character if he knew what to look for. I'm pretty sure this guy Ralph has never had a single thought about anything besides food.
No, we're on time for once, but where's all the food?
Some appetizers, yeah?
Just bring on the food, Mick. Come on.
That all sounds great. Now let's get to the food.
In place of our Flintstone couples, we now have bootleg Mark from The Room and his girlfriend who kind of looks like Lisa a little bit. And also at the very start, you see 2 kids and then they immediately disappear. Presumably they just went off to go play GameCube because they knew better than to be involved with this chicanery. And speaking of chicanery, there's another trick that they've been using in all 3 of these infomercials so far, but I haven't mentioned it yet up until this point. Out of context reaction shots. Is everything as it seems with all these happy smiling people? I very much doubt it. Now I think what happened is they just went around the table with the camera like, alright, act like you have just seen the rebirth of the baby Jesus. Okay, very good. Rinse and repeat for everyone else around the table, and bam, there you go. Want the audience to feel impressed? Just cut to another reaction from the clip bin. Demonstration taking too long? Want to jump through time a little bit? Just cut to another clip. Don't know how to end this bit? Hey, just cut to a clip.
Wow. Wow.
Anyways, the Bullet Express is pretty much just a food chopper. You still need your tiny onions in slices instead of making onion paste. Bam, we got a new bullet for that. Never mind all that stuff we said last time about limited countertop space and cupboards full of old unused kitchen gadgets and all that. Still, I get it, not everyone can just immediately dice anything with a knife like they're Marco Pierre White or something. For some people, I could see this thing coming in handy. Of course, that doesn't stop them doing all kinds of new questionable demos.
Whoa. Nachos.
Okay, chopping up the chicken and cheese for our nachos makes sense.
And you gotta have tomatoes, so I'm gonna put some...
Wait a minute, you're putting the tomatoes on it now? Gee whiz, I don't know about this, Mick. Are you just gonna eat those nachos cold, or are you gonna destroy those tomatoes in the oven?
Our supreme nacho platter is ready for the oven.
Ah, I see. Well, prepare for disappointment and damp nachos, in that order. Luckily, bootleg Berman over here doesn't seem to mind, carrying on the tradition of stealing the entire nacho platter and everything.
Pizza time.
Ralph, you still like pizza, right?
Clearly.
I have this pizza dough I made from scratch in just about 35 seconds.
Dang, Mimi, that's fast. How'd you do it? Was the bullet involved? Are you gonna tell us, or are you just a witch?
I'm just gonna add some fresh tomatoes.
Never mind. Witches would definitely put more seasoning in their tomato sauce than that. Man, if only there was something that could like blend up your tomatoes with garlic and herbs and make a sort of pizza sauce of some kind. Nope, can't think of anything.
And our homemade pepperoni pizza is ready for the oven in less time than it takes to unwrap a frozen pizza.
If it's actually taking you a significant amount of time to unwrap that frozen pizza, I can't see this being any easier. Also notice, we see Mimi cutting the pizza, but at no point do we ever see anybody take a single bite out of it. Suspicious.
To the meatloaf!
Wait, that's not ground turkey.
That's right. Ground turkey from the store can be full of fat.
Maybe, like if you don't know how to read the numbers on the package. Don't like fat in your ground turkey? Just get the 93.7.
Made from fresh, skinless turkey breast.
With a little bit of ketchup.
Ketchup? Yeah, I think I recognize this meatloaf recipe. It's the Sandra Lee special. How'd that work out for her again?
That's it.
Uh-oh.
Now, Martha, I know that you're a bit of an expert when it comes to meatloaf. Have you ever tasted meatloaf as good as that?
Looks like it just came off the production line at Krabby O Mondays.
Potatoes.
Now this one makes the most sense out of all the examples we've seen so far.
Potatoes au gratin. Oven ready in about 30 seconds.
Oh, no, dear. Potatoes au gratin takes more like 30 minutes to prepare with the shredding and the slicing.
Aunt Martha might be highballing it a little bit here, but still, that is a lot of sliced potatoes. Very convenient that all of these potatoes happen to be small enough to fit down the tube, though.
Now, all I need to do is add a little fresh ground pepper.
Man, when she says a little bit, she really means a little bit. Hey guys, I found the one bite with pepper on it.
Vegetables! Okay.
Now this is another one that actually makes sense, which is good for them, but it's unfortunate for me because it doesn't really give me a whole lot to talk about.
Hooray! It's salad.
And how about this for a salad bowl?
Hey, Ralph, you can help me out with this one.
What?
Man, look at these two. Awakening Ralph from his nacho coma just to bully him.
You can make as little or as much as you like.
I mean, if you ever had the shredded lettuce at Subway and thought, man, this is so good, I wish I had a salad made out of this, then I guess this'll do.
Ralph, find that knife yet?
I got it.
We're gonna need a chopping board as well, Ralph.
How easy it is to fill this giant salad bowl.
And again, I don't know, the cucumbers look all right, but those tomatoes are frickin' paper thin.
You ever go into, don't laugh, you go into a fast food restaurant? Here, pick up the bun, look underneath. Does that look familiar?
I'm ready.
That's okay, Ralph, because we're already done.
Come on, guys, you can't be playing with Ralph's emotions like this. One day he's just gonna say he's had enough and he'll be back for revenge. Anyways, the salad looks edible, but there's definitely going to be at least half of it taking up an entire shelf in the fridge until it inevitably gets thrown out in about 2 weeks.
Cheesecake.
See, cheesecake, this actually seems legit. This seems like something you'd actually get the bullet for. It reminds me of this one time I got a job driving a cheesecake truck, and I figured at the end of the day I could take some of the leftover cheesecakes home, and I love. So anyways, I figured the best thing to do would be to eat all the rest of the cheesecakes and hide the truck somewhere and leave town. And I miss everybody a whole lot, but I'm not really sorry, because they were very delicious cheesecakes. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, Bullet Express. Yeah, not the Japanese train, the kitchen cookware thingy. Now, I don't really have much problem with the cheesecake itself, but there are 2 suspicious moments here, and the first is this one with Aunt Martha.
To make cheesecake, I'd need my big stand mixer.
Well, how much did that big stand mixer cost?
My mixer was $150.
$150, that's a lot. How much does this thing cost again? Oh, $120 plus shipping and handling. Oops, just, yeah, don't think about that. Now here's the other suspicious moment.
Prepped and ready for the oven in less than 60 seconds.
Less than a minute? Really? Okay, bet. Let's time it. Come on, man, now you're just straight lying to my face.
Apple pie. Oh, God, what is that made out of?
Now, it's a good thing the cheesecake made sense because this apple pie most certainly doesn't. You ever bitten into an apple pie with whole rings of apple like this? I certainly haven't, but hey, there's a first time for everything, I guess. Okay, let's see what they do next. A little bit of sugar and cinnamon, a little bit of lemon juice,
And it's ready for you, Mick.
Wait, that's it? I think we might be missing a few steps here.
And just to finish off, crimp the outside with Granny's false teeth.
Damn, Granny took actual offense to that one. These two are lucky she didn't bust out the walloping stick.
A little bit more cinnamon on the top.
They really are made for each other. He sprinkles cinnamon just like how she sprinkles pepper.
A complete, full family meal prepared in less than 8 minutes.
Oh good, we're doing this time distortion game again. Yeah, good luck cooking all those potatoes au gratin and the cheesecake in under an hour, let alone all that other shit. Hey, wait a minute, where'd all that bread come from? The bullet didn't have anything to do with that. And that brings me to another point. It's a trick that the Ready, Set, Go people also use, and it's a trick that appears in all 3 of these infomercials.
The elephant in the room that needs to be mentioned.
Suspicious pre-prepared food. Now, of course, it's easy for them to throw around all these absurdly short prep times when most of the work was done in advance. If I had been pointing them out one by one as we went along, it would have gotten real old real quick, so instead, let's just hit them all in one go, rapid fire style. Ready, go. This whole plate of berries had to be washed, ham and cheese pre-cubed, vegetables washed and or peeled, fruit already plated up and ready to go with the omelet, muffins already prepared before they even started making the muffins, more berries, walnuts were in shells at one point, but those might have been pre-shelled from the store, so I'll give them a pass on that one. Same veggies as before, but now with the addition of peeled garlic and chopped jalapenos. Apple cut into quarters with a knife, bread toasted, lettuce washed, suspicious salad over here, more peeled garlic, butter out and melted, parm conveniently chunked to fit in the bullet. This basil might have been straight from the package, but fuck it, I'm counting that anyways. This farfalle, on the other hand, where'd that come from? 5-second pesto pasta? Yeah, as long as you don't count the actual pasta part. Of course, they double dip on that example with some more pasta and these 2 little wimpy breadsticks. This all obviously took quite a bit of time, but bonus points for chopping and coring the avocados. These chip platters probably didn't take that much time, but still, prepped in advance. All those individual peppermints probably took quite a bit of time to unwrap. Lots of prep work here, but bonus points for chopping up a pineapple and a watermelon. Actually, never mind, I take that one back because this piece still has the rind on it. Good luck blending that. Hey look, it's the return of the omelet cubes. That's clearly the same cheese and onions from before, but now there's jalapenos too. The chicken's okay because they mentioned it being leftovers. Now there's all that stuff again, but this time it's served up in a metal boat. Another pre-prepared chip platter, more suspiciously fresh-looking avocado slices, strawberries and peaches, both washed and sliced, pineapples, cubed, another pre-prepared chip platter. Too much stuff to count here. At this point, they're not even trying to hide it. On top of that, another pre-prepped watermelon. By the time we get to the Bullet Express, they're getting a little bit better at hiding it. This plate of prepared nacho ingredients is hidden behind the thing, but I see it. And hey, look, there's another one. And another. I can't tell if these potatoes are peeled or not, but still suspiciously small enough to fit in the tube either way. All of these root vegetables have been de-stemmed, and again, someone decapitated the cucumber. Even opening a box of graham crackers was too much work. They had to make a bowl of them. Now the cream cheese I can at least understand, because I've unwrapped those before.
It's a pain in the...
As I was saying, Granny.
It was awfully nice of them to put 4 examples back to back here, less editing work to do on my part. On top of that, we got apples cored in advance and also pre-prepared pie crust. And hey, that reminds me, I forgot to count the pizza crust from earlier too. And speaking of suspicious bread, remember the bread from nowhere? Yep, there was also that. But these apples I can let slide, even though they're clearly tiny, so they'll fit through the pipe. Now this celery, on the other hand, has clearly had the leaves chopped off. These oranges have all been peeled in advance. And finally, we got one last pre-sliced watermelon. And that's it. Unless, of course, I missed something. I'm not entirely certain that I didn't, so yeah, let me know in the comments or something. Oh yeah, you can also turn it into a juicer. Remember when the original Bullet did that? They're probably hoping that you don't, but I do. How many trips to the sink for this one? Beautiful. Anyways, you might have noticed I don't really have a whole lot to say about these new characters, and that's because they're mostly just really boring. Ralph likes food, Martha and Granny are crotchety old hags, that's about it. Everyone else is basically just a smiling cardboard cutout. So that's about it. There's not really much more to... What? What do you mean there's more? What? NutriBullet, Baby Bullet, Party Bullet, Dessert Bullet.
Look at this! There's so many! What?
Okay, I'm not going to do a real deep dive on any of these, but I will at least take a brief glance at them. If anything seems important enough, I'll mention it. I've heard a lot of bad things about what happens when you let any kind of bullet get too deep into your head, magic or otherwise. Now this is basically just the first magic bullet again. I struggle to see what it does different, if anything. The main difference is just the branding. They're really leaning into the nutrition angle this time.
Bullet exclusive cyclonic action breaks down and pulverizes food on a cellular level.
Yeah, the cell walls in most fruits and vegetables tend to break down when you blend them.
It can reverse the effects of aging and supercharge your metabolism to fight off aches and pains, colds and flus, and even improve vital health markers like cholesterol levels and blood pressure.
Damn, calm down. It's not the fountain of youth, it's a blender. Anyways, not a whole lot else to go over here, just some fairly standard infomercial stuff. Okay, next up we got the baby bullet. YouTube uploader affectionately titled this one The Baby Shower from Hell.
And it's just in time.
Special delivery for Jenny.
Oh no, Mick's been demoted from salesman to delivery man.
Oh, come on in, Mick. Just set it right down there on the counter.
Nice package.
Anyways, this just seems like the regular magic bullet, but with a face on it and a tiny chamber. The lady says it's been retuned and stuff, but I still don't see what's stopping you from just making baby food in the original. All these other ladies are just more cardboard cutouts. The only mildly interesting character is this beleaguered father over here.
Woo! No more trips to the store.
Well, not for baby food anyway.
God help me.
Now we got the party bullet. This one's just 2 minutes long. I guess they figured there's no need to beat around the bush. They can get right to the point and save money on advertising time.
Hurry up, they're not gonna hold up the wedding for us, you know. Sherman, what are you wearing?
Sherman? Another new fat guy? Man, you guys gotta be nicer to your heavy-set friends if you want to keep them around for more than 2 commercials.
Hey, the invitation said casual.
It did?
Also, Mimi's apparently had some work done. Her face looks different. At least I think this is Mimi. They never say her name. But more importantly, Hazel's back! Yeah! Anyways, they're late to a wedding, but oops, it's actually a funeral. What do they do?
And now Henry is with my lord!
This is the deadest wedding I've ever seen.
Smile, everybody! Jeez, this is a wedding or a funeral. A bunch of steps.
Well, let's just liven things up a bit, shall we? It's the party bullet.
Yeah, once you get the premise, you pretty much get the picture. The main difference is this time around, the tongue is planted thoroughly in cheek, whereas before they were at least attempting to be serious from time to time.
Look, folks, life is short, so don't wait to order your party bullet.
And this Sherman guy, he's no Berman, but he does somehow manage to get with the grieving widow.
So I'm guessing you're here alone.
My son, this is a funeral.
Come on, Father. You can't spell funeral without F-U.
As for the product itself, yeah, it just seems like the original magic bullet again. Different blade and different glasses, but they could have just sold those as accessories or something. They didn't need to invent a whole new bullet for that. If I buy this, is it going to be unable to grind my coffee and cheese and whatnot?
You can party like there's no tomorrow, and guess what? One day, you'll be right.
Apparently it can bring the dead back to life, though. That's a new one. Here we go, the dessert bullet. We're back to the proven formula. We got Mick and Mimi, and wait a minute. That's not Mimi. Who are you, and what have you done with this man's TV wife?
Join Mick, Stephanie, and special guest nutrition expert David Wolf.
Dang, I guess the relationship just broke after one swingers barbecue too many. And here I was, thinking she was the Kim Wexler to his Jimmy McGill. Maybe she was, just not in the way that I thought. Anyways, there's pretty much nothing else here. Just more cardboard cutout people.
Tastes just like cherry chocolate ice cream.
There's also a few things on the Magic Bullet YouTube channel that might be worth a quick look here. Apparently at some point they tried making their own little cartoon show. The Magic Bullet Show, Episode 1.
Now that's what I call a Magic Bullet energy drink. Crikey!
Maximum low-budget 2000s web cartoon energy. It's like something you would have found on Newgrounds back in 2005.
It's as easy as 1, 2...
Animating blending is hard. Let's just splice in some footage from the infomercials for that. Actually, wait, what am I saying? No, it isn't. Also, this clearly isn't the original actors doing the voices. Probably just some mystery people from the studio.
I doubt that. Man can't even tie his own shoe.
Was this done without their knowledge, or did they actively decline being a part of this? I wonder.
Hey, lay off, guys. I got my shoes on just fine this morning.
Yeah, because they're Velcro.
With jokes like that, is it any wonder they didn't make it to episode 2?
Go ahead, Berman, give her a whirl. You can do it.
All right, one bourbon hangover special coming right up.
Ah, there we go. At least we got one joke that works.
Hey,
I know you're not gonna believe me, but those are their sound effects, not mine. I didn't add those.
Now let's get your strawberry smoothie started, Mimi.
I'd love for you to grind my berries, Mick.
I tell you what, darling, I would grind your berries any day.
I can't help but think that the original actors probably wouldn't have signed off on this. Seems significantly filthier than anything we saw in the live-action commercials.
Oh, this stuff really is magic.
Damn, there it is. The missing chapter. We finally found out how these two ended up in the tent together. I can rest easy now that my one lingering question is resolved. Anyways, they only made that 1 2-minute episode, but I suppose that's just as well. Can't imagine where they could have possibly gone from there. Elsewhere on the channel, they've got the usual promos and recipes and stuff. There's this one here with Jenny McCarthy. Apparently at one point they hosted a food competition, and they actually did get some of the original actors back for that. Most of the real gold on this channel is just behind the scenes clips from that contest, specifically these clips of Hazel being a menace. Here she is stealing all the catering. Here she is smoking backstage.
No, you can't. No, really, it's really a fire hazard.
Here she...
Are you single, Scott?
Currently I am.
So am I. I mean, Berman is my dog.
Wait, what? I can't believe I'm seeing this, man. Less than 2,000 views, too. And she's already moving on to the director? Oh, Hazel, no! And on that note, I think I've had my fill. No more bullets. If this rabbit hole goes any deeper than that, do let me know what I missed, but for now, I think that's as deep as I'm willing to go. Once again, it kind of didn't really make me want to buy any of these, just made me want food.
I need more food.
Well, that got completely and totally out of hand. If you're returning for one of my previous ventures, thanks for sticking around, sorry for the wait, and if you're new here, I hope you like what you saw. If you're interested in checking out some of my other pages such as Bandcamp and Patreon and whatnot, there's a link to all of those in the description of my channel. That's about it for now. Thanks again for watching, hope you stick around for the next one, but until then, take care, peace out.